guys, it's great to see you again. I'm Miss Joli and I'll be your artist for this lesson. Today we're going to be talking about light and the rainbow. We're going to talk about prisms, light dispersion into colors, and we're going to create a rainbow out of the three primary colors. What we're going to need today for the materials are a piece of paper, pencil, crayon, pencil and eraser, and a box of crayons. Rainbows are seen all over the world in all types of conditions. There are a lot of legends and old stories surrounding the rainbow. The most popular is the Irish leprechaun legend of the pot of gold at the end of it. Some cultures believe the rainbow leads to God, or it's a giant snake in the sky. Rainbows are a connection between the worlds of the living and the dead. Some believe God traveled the rainbow path from the heavens to earth. And also many gods have traveled that way. It is a colorful arc that links our world to another. Rainbows are seen all over the world in all types of conditions. There are a lot of legends and old stories surrounding the rainbow. The most popular is the Irish leprechaun legend of the pot of gold at the end of it. Some cultures believe the rainbow leads to God, or it's a giant snake in the sky. Rainbows are a connection between the worlds of the living and the dead. Some believe God traveled the rainbow path from the heavens to earth. And also many gods have traveled that way. It is a colorful arc that links our world to another. The gradation of the color of the rainbow is continuous. There are actually no stripes. People like to organize things and make sense of them. So you may hear people say it that way. Rainbow reflections can be seen in the water and on other smooth surfaces. No one sees the same rainbow, or should I say, no two people see the same rainbow. We all see our rainbow from different views and perspectives. As sunlight enters the droplet, it slows and changes direction. Once inside the droplet, the light reflects off the back inner surface, then refracts a second time, blending as it travels out of the water and back into the air. Let's take a look at prisms. Light dispersion separates a beam. Glass or other transparent objects in prism form, especially that is a triangular form with reflective surfaces at an acute angle with each other, and that separates white light into a spectrum of colors. Reflection splits the white light or sunlight into a spectrum of colors. We'll see red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and purple or violet. Rainbows occur anytime the sun shines while it's raining. Also, around waterfalls, garden hoses, or sprinkler systems. Roy G. Bibb stands for red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Have you ever heard of a double rainbow? Two arcs of color, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. They're caused by a double reflection of light shining through the rain or moisture in the air. This happens by light waves entering the suspended water droplet and blending. The light is refracted twice, once upon entering the raindrop and then again as it leaves. Then between the two refractions, it is reflected off and the back of the raindrop. So it reacts when it enters, reflects off the back, and refracts as it leaves. Quadruple rainbows do exist under rare conditions. They come from two different light sources, the sun and a large reflective surface, such as a lake. All rainbows are round, but most intersect the ground from out points of view. A rainbow that is entirely circular requires the observer to be high enough from the ground so that the refracting light from the sun appears high off the ground, so that the bottom of the rainbow is off the ground. This picture was captured by a drone in Victoria Falls, Zambia, Africa. A rainbow will always be opposite the sun. If you think you've spotted one near or around the sun, you're seeing something else. You can't have a rainbow around the sun. Full circle rainbows are a rare, special case. They're caused by the reflection and the refraction in water droplets. One must observe it from an airplane or a high building. There's also the glory, which is much smaller than a full circle rainbow. It appears to surround the shadow of the observer or on an airplane. They also have ice bows or 22-degree halos. It's like a rainbow, but it's refracted in the ice crystals. And there's solar halos caused by sunlight shining through the clouds of tiny ice crystals. Okay, so for this project, we're using our white sheet of paper, and we have a pencil to write our name. And so write your name on your page and flip it over. Oops. You have an eraser if you're going to need it for later. We don't need it right now. I would ask that you pull out 3 of your crayons. I'd like you to pull out the red, a yellow, and a blue. Now, you can use them with all their clothes on like this. I usually prefer to use these. These I like to rub with. But I do use the tips and the points of these too while we're rubbing. So that will be totally fine. But I'll use these so I don't have to worry about my edges of my paper. If I turn it on the side, this will not let it go so well. So, but you can, it takes a little longer if you're going to use, it takes a little longer if you're going to use the point, okay? It takes just a little longer if you use the point, whereas if you use the sides of this, okay? So, here's my sheet of paper. I'm going to ask that we take it and fold it the long way, or hot dog fold. So see how we have hot dog fold here? And we're going to open it back up. This is just going to give us a guideline. See that imaginary line here? That I'm going to want most of my stuff to be on this side of my paper, way up here on this side. And we're going to have it across. We're going to have it horizontally. So the long way it goes, our landscape style. You're going to take your crayon. We're going to work with the yellow crayon first. And look at your thumb. You see how big, thick, and wide your thumb is? I'm going to ask that in this top section here, we do a piece that's going to be as big and thick as our thumb. See how if I'm going to go ahead and start rubbing it across. Okay? You can, like if you take your yellow crayon and you have a big space here, and a big space here. All right, and you just color all the inside here. Basically the same thing, okay? So you're going to go ahead and color this one up. And on this one, I'm going to ask for you to put a little pressure on this. Go ahead and put it quite a little pressure. This way, we're going to get it really yellow. And I want my middle of my to be quite yellow. And you see I can come back. I'm using just the tip of it right now. See, I'm using just the tip of it. So there's our yellow. We have a great big yellow strip. A great big yellow strip, almost like it's 2 inches. So it almost fills the middle of that one section, that one side. If you prefer to work on your paper like this, you're very welcome to go ahead and do that, okay? You're very welcome to turn it the other way, because that's what we're doing right now. We're putting a great big strip. Great big strip up and down. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to take a red and we're going to go ahead and do the top part of the paper. See, but we're not going to do the whole paper. We're going to cross over. See how it's going to actually cross over right here. See how it's going to cross over right here? And I have just a little bit red that comes off the edge. So again, you're using your crayons. If you have your a nice set of crayons, you're going to go ahead and color only this section. Okay, so go ahead and color in this section red, and you're going to cross over this section, and it's going to look like it's a little bit red, but it's going to make another color. It's going to look more orangey. In fact, we're going to probably take our yellow and come right over that. Do that with this one. So remember, if you prefer to use it up and down, go ahead. But you see how I'm just putting color all in the middle in here. I don't want to go past that line. I want to kind of keep that line kind of close. So there's our red, and then it crosses over and it starts to make an orangey color. So I take my yellow again and I rub my yellow over it so that it makes it look a little orangey. See how it's starting to make it look orange? So we had yellow and we have red. And we're going to put blue towards the bottom. So here's going to be my blue. I'm going to cross it over a little bit. Now there's going to be a section right in the middle. I don't want to put anything else there. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do our little section here. And what happens when the blue and the yellow, this one can be a thick one. This one is going to be a little thinner, but this one here, we can have it kind of thick. Okay, if you want to go down below it, go fine. So most of the color is above that fold line, but some of it will come towards the bottom here. Okay, and I'm going to turn it this way so that I can go ahead. That's going to be my blue is going to be mixing in here, and it's going to give us a greenish color. I do have to rub it like this because I'm rubbing it. I do need to go over a few more times. With your blue, it won't take you as long probably. And again, like we did on the other one, I'm going to take my yellow and I'm going to put yellow right over the blue I just put. Okay, then I'll come back over with my yellow. Remember, the yellow is the one we want to do the hard one. The others are not as hard. We do it quite light. And you can see the colors change depending on your coloring technique and the colors you're using. Some of them are easier than others. So, can we see we have red, we have orange, we have yellow, we have green, we have blue, and we're going to come and actually I'd like to turn mine this way, and I'll just do a line across. I don't want to do all the way. So you see, I'll just use my little red here. I'm going to do a line across. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to go all the way. It doesn't have to touch the bottom here. And if I do go over the bottom a little bit, I'm just going to add blue right over it, because blue and red make what color? What color is it starting to look like? And I don't want really a big thick one for this one. This one is not going to be very thick. Now, you know in the rainbows we were talking about how the rainbow divides into colors. See how the rainbow divides into colors? You have red and orange and yellow and green and blue and indigo and violet. Well, a lot of times we kind of combine those colors anyway. They're all shades of blue. It is a shade of blue. So we have the blue and violet. We'll see. Just let you know there is an indigo in between. See how it is shown just very lightly, but it's all right. So let's see, I'm going to go ahead and come back over this with my blue a little bit darker, and then I'll put my red a little bit darker. I don't want to go too low. It's just a very thin line. So here's my red, and I go back over all that with the red and the blue. See if I can do it this way. It's fine. There we go. And I'm going to just lightly come down here and just lightly on the top. This could be my blue sky. I try not to touch my red. Okay, this is my blue sky. This is going to be the background for my artwork. But now, class, we have the yellow. We started off in the red and the blue. We have only 3 colors there. The yellow and the red and the blue. The red, the yellow, and blue created the whole rainbow. So when we have yellow, red, and blue, we call those our primary colors. Primary. Primary means first. There are first colors. There are first colors. You are in primary school. Primary means your first years of school, right? So primary school means you're in your first years of school. You're not ready to graduate college, are you? No, no. So we're in primary school. This is your first few years of school. All right? So we have red, yellow, and blue. Those are our primary colors. Now, we created a few other colors. When red and yellow crossed and blended together, it made orange. When yellow and blue crossed, it made green. And when blue and red crossed, it made purple. So we have orange, green, and purple. Orange, green, and purple, they come after the primary colors, after our first colors. So they're second. There are secondary colors. See, that's orange, green, and purple. They come second. They're our secondary colors. So in our rainbow, we have our primary colors and our secondary colors. Our primary, remember, that's our first ones. So if you can remember the three colors we started with, red, yellow, and blue, by doing a project like this, you can remember the other colors because you make orange, you make green, and you'll make a purple. If you step back from this project from far, you'll be able to see that it looks more purple. If you're really close, you might not be able to tell, oh, it doesn't look too purple, or it doesn't look too green, or it doesn't look too orange, but it does, it does. And like I said, what I'd suggest is go ahead and lightly color all around the top. Remember, you're not going to put the sun in this because you don't normally see the sun and the rainbow in the same place. All right, it's usually the sun will be from far, it'll be from the back. Okay, and the very bottom, you can decide what you're going to want to put. So go ahead and color up the sides. We're going to color up the sides, and I'm going to let you think about what we're going to put on the bottom. Oh, I must have something underneath here. Oh, yeah, I did. That's making my little bumps on my paper. So now that I have this, I'm going to go ahead and think about what I'm going to put for my background. This is my background. What I'm going to put for my foreground, what's going to be in the front, what's going to be in my picture, what's going to be on the ground. You think about it. What would you like on your picture? Do you want to put, what would you put under your rainbow? Would you put your house? Would you put a farm? Would you put a city? Would you put rolling hillside? I think I'm going to do the rolling hillside. I love rolling hillsides. So here's a little crayon I have, and I'm going to go ahead and color it in. Let's see, I'm going to just go ahead and come out this way. See, green is made from blue, so it's not going to hurt this at all. And maybe I'll put some water in my picture. Yeah. Now I'm going to put some water. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put water down here. Let's see. So this part's going to be water. And this I will color darker. I don't want it as light as the other. And if you want to put some purple, make it deep color of your picture, fine. Here's my little purple. Make deep colors in my ground, in my water. There we go. See? And let's see. I'm going to go ahead and put a tree on this side and another tree. You decide how you want yours. See, I'll just roll it up and it tells me how it wants to go. And my tree base will be thick. And the top of my tree will be thinner. And let's see, I'm going to do another kind of tree here, one that kind of goes up. Maybe wider base down here. This is not far from the water, so who knows, it could possibly be a cypress tree. Let's see, I do want to put a few little branches coming out. And let's see, I'm going to go ahead. I like to do dots and spots and little ones and little minus signs in my tree. And sometimes I like to put yellow specks in there. That's where the light hits it. It also makes yellow-green colors. If I want to darken it up, I'll put a little blue. Oh, that's true. My ground might be a little darker shading. I'm going to put brown in it because I don't really want to put black. I can outline my tree with black. go. Maybe a little bit of black for my shadow, because my shadow is going to be there. Then come back with my greens. If you want to put a house, I could put a house. Let's see. Have a couple of blue specks in here on the bottom half. Remember, green is made from what two colors? Green is made from blue and yellow. And then I'll put some more green on top. It'll mix with those. So the bottom will be a lot darker than my top. And over here, I'm going to put, let's see. I'm going to do some little leaves, only where it almost look like a little cloud of leaves, where my branches seem to go, and I might have some coming directly to us and we can't see it. See how these trees are going to actually look a little different from each other. Now, why I like to use dots so much? When you're looking at trees and you're looking at the leaves and you can see through the leaves, you see the what? You can see the sky. You're right. So that's why I like to use dots and spots. And since the leaves will be so far away that I couldn't quite see what they look like anyway, I like to use dots and spots. And then my ground, I'm going to probably put some yellow in this. I'll put some yellow in this section here. Maybe a little yellow in here. I'm going to come back with my greens. If you have different color greens, you can use your different color greens. Oh, I did that one. Come back with my greens here. I do want greens. If you want to put a house, go ahead and put your house. I love to do landscapes. I can go ahead and come right through this. Just ever so lightly do a little black to kind of outline the bottom of my tree so that you can see the difference. And then I might put some grass sticking up from there. Little little blades of grass. Little blades of grass. And we can use like the little black underneath it to kind of darken it up. Or you can use blues too, and brown. You want to show the little dirt. Because some of this you will have some dirt in there that we see. Just depends on the different landscapes. Just about finished with my artwork. Did you put a house in yours? Remember when it talked about the rainbow, everybody sees a different rainbow. We see the rainbows there, but it all depends on our view, our perception, our perspective, too. Take a moment and view your neighbor's artwork. Notice the similarities and the differences between your artwork and your neighbor's artwork. Thanks for joining me today. We've learned so many things. We talked about light and the rainbow. We talked about prisms, light dispersion into colors, and we created a rainbow out of the 3 primary colors for your background for your artwork, whatever you had decided to put underneath. As you go through your week, notice what kind of colors you see. You may even get a chance to be lucky enough to see a rainbow on a rainy day. Enjoy the rest of your week. I had so much fun spending time with you today.